Hi everybody, Gem here. Welcome back to my creative space. So in my last couple of videos I've been showing you how to make the cover for this journal, and also we looked at masterboards, how to make them, how to cut them up, and what to do with the things that you've cut up. What to do with the things once you've cut up your masterboard. And in the last video we looked at 5 different things that you could do. So I've been using my bits and pieces from my masterboard for this journal, and it's not quite finished yet, not quite ready for a flick through, but if you hang on till the end of this video I'll give you a bit of a sneak preview, because one of the other things I've been making are these little notepads or note journals to go in the bigger journal. And so I thought today I'd show you how to make these, because not only are they quick and easy, so they're ideal if you're beginning on your junk journal journey, but also these are great because they use up scraps. So you'll see I've got a couple here which I've done for my granddaughter's journal that I'm also making, but these have been done to match in with this rose or flower journal that I've been doing. So that's where we're going to go today. I'm going to show you a couple of different methods for making them. They're all quick and easy. Now, I don't know, if you're anything like me, you don't make junk journals to a standard size. And, you know, like this one, I've used some packaging. And so it's not a standard sort of A4 or A5 size. So when you cut your pages down, you end up with all these bits and pieces off the side. Now, I hate throwing anything away, and so what I'm going to do today is to show you how to use these to create these little mini journals, so journal within a journal if you like. So let's get started. So all you're going to need is the scraps off your edges of your pages, or strips of paper that have come from elsewhere, and so I'm going to start off and show you one which is done with a scrap of, and this is a scrap of scrapbook paper that has also, as is an offcut from the journal I've been making. So before we do anything else, I'm going to trim down the sides to get rid of these. I think these pages have come out of an art journal, so I'm going to trim these down, get rid of all that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so I've got rid of all those edges, and what you will see is that I've been left with a whole load of strips of paper like this that have been cut off the edges of my book pages. Now I've got some here that are graph paper, some that are plain, and really you can use anything you like. If I show you here, so obviously the pages I'd cut here were a mixture. There's some graph paper, some plain paper, some coffee dyed paper, some lines. You can use a mixture like that, or this one all plain. This one has a mixture of colours. So really it depends what you've got, what the sort of vibe of your journal is, or what you want to use up. So I think for this one I'm just going to pick the plain pieces, and I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these pieces are doubled, and so what I'm going to do is to cut through the ends here, cut through the folded bit. Of course it's at the other end on that one. There we go. And I'm simply going to line all those pieces up. I'm just going to trim that little end like that, and I'm going to fold them in half. And for me, that's the size of my book. Now again, you can do a set size if you want to, or you can do whatever size your bits of paper dictate. Now here's my scrapbook paper offcut, and again I'm going to grab this and I'm going to fold it over to make a cover. Trim the end, and really folks, it is as simple as that. Now How you choose to hold it all together, again, it's entirely up to you. This one, you'll see, this is the simplest way. I just put a staple in the middle. These two, I've just stitched a little piece of cotton or string. So I'll show you how to do that for this one, and then we'll make another one and I'll show you how to do the staple. Okay, so for this one I'm just going to use, I think this is some crochet cotton actually. I probably picked this up in an op shop or a thrift store, depending what you call them. My big needle. There we go. Now if your thread's a bit thin, you can double it. But most thread like this is strong enough just to be used in a single. This one I think I used some embroidery thread. You can use whatever you've got, whatever suits your vibe. Now for this one, whereas when we're doing pamphlet stitch we normally start in the middle, I only do two holes for this, and I just tend to eyeball it, and I come from the outside. And actually my trusty Cricut tool, really good for making holes. There you go. So this one you come from the outside across the middle, tied off. Now you can do this with ribbon if you want to, if you can thread it through your the eye of your needle. You could put eyelets in if you wanted to in those holes as well, if you wanted to make it really posh. But for me, this is a quick and easy addition to your junk journal. What was that? 2 or 3 minutes? I don't know, you could tell me, have a look at the video. In essence, that's done. And you can decorate these in any way you wish. So you'll see with this one, which is actually the same material, I've inked around the edge and I've stuck, that was a die cut that I got in a pack. And I'm not always so keen on the white outlines on these, but actually stuck on there it looks all right. This one, this is a sticker. This one is a sticker too. So you can decorate in any way you want to. Now for this one I've got a little rose that I've fussy cut from somewhere. I couldn't tell you where. And I'm going to just grab an ink pad and we're going to ink around the edge of this one. So you don't have to do this. Again, it really depends on your preferred aesthetic. And you'll see that this one is a little bit different from this. This one I'm using a blending brush. That one I probably just ran along the ink pad. So this one I'm just going to put a little bit of colour across the middle as well, just to make it a little bit different. And I'll just do the very edges of the back as well, because don't forget these get pulled out to be used, so people do see the back of these. You could stick them into your journal, I guess. I've never thought about that actually. Okay, so just around the edge of the rose, just a little bit, just to blending brush is not my favourite for doing the edges, I have to say. But there we go, we've added a little bit of colour on that. Alright. Use a glue stick because it's only paper on paper. there we go, folks. What do you reckon? 5 minutes? It's done. You've got a little notepad to tuck into one of those pockets or tuck spots that we made the other day. Okay, let's do another one. I will show you something slightly different if you haven't got scrapbook paper. Alright, so another way of doing these, as you will see with this one, instead of using scrapbook paper, I've actually just used a piece of book page. So we're going to show you how to do that as well. This time I'm actually going to use, I scored a whole load of music paper the other day in our local op shop, and here you'll see I've got some offcuts. This isn't actually coffee dye paper, it's just a very old pad of paper that I had, and I've got these offcuts from it. So you'll see one's a little bit shorter. I don't actually mind that, but I don't want this pad too big. So I'm actually just going to fold it to there. I'm going to cut those pieces off. Now, this one you'll see was a top opening one. The previous one I made was a side opening one, so we're going to show you how to do one of those. So this is going to go this way this time, these pages. So I'm going to cut across here. I'm going to take some of this white off at the bottom. And at the sides. Again, I might straighten this up in a moment. I want to fold. I like my cover to be just a little bit bigger than the pages inside. Obviously haven't cut very straight there. There we go. So this time I'm going to pop those pages in, and instead of stitching, I'm simply, let's make sure all those pages are folded out, hold them in the middle, and I'm simply going to put my staple in the middle. How simple is that? You have a little notebook. Just trim a little bit more off there. You have a little notebook ready to go to pop straight into your journal. Now you could pop it in just like that if you wanted to. One of the other things you can do with these is to grab your little corner rounder and do the corners. There we go. Just gives a slightly different look, and you could decorate these in whatever way you want to go with your journal. Now just now I said to you that the blending brushes weren't my favourite thing for inking the edges of more delicate things like these roses. What I do use is one of these, and you can buy these, but actually, as you can see, this is a cork from a bottle of fizzy wine by the look of it, and this is a little circle pad of felt which I've cut, and this is quite thick felt. It's the type that you would use underneath a chair leg or something like that to stop the floor being scratched. So it's quite thick. It was just an offcut I got somewhere, and you can use these to ink the edge quite effectively. Done. Now, as I say, you could leave it like that. You could put something on there that's going to match in with whatever journal you're doing. Entirely up to you. So we've got 2 ways of doing things there. I'm going to show you one more. And that, so you can use book pages, you can use music sheets, but you can also use things like this. This is a gift tag. Came in with some stuff I bought in one of the op shops, I think. So if you've got those, you can use those as the cover in exactly the same way, ready decorated for you. Here's another one. That looks like a Christmas one, actually. It is. But if you're doing a Christmas journal, that would be ideal. You could pop that in, or if you're doing a journal with maybe a religious theme, it might fit. And this one's got some writing inside, and if you don't want that, simply cut a piece of paper and stick over the back. Alright, so there's another 2 options. I'm going to show you one more. This is a piece of scrapbook paper. It's probably 6 by 6, and here I've got some offcuts from the journal that I'm making for my granddaughter. So as you can see, these are the bits of the pages that have come off the side. Oh, there's another piece of scrapbook paper. Actually, might use that one because I happen to know that that goes with the theme of the journal. So this time I've got all sorts of different bits of paper. I've got different colours, different sizes. Some are printed, some are not. Now, I don't mind that, and I don't mind that these have got the holes in from the pad that they originally came from. I'm just going to mix them all up, sit them all together, and we'll go from there. Again, these are obviously quite long. If you've got a big journal, you could perhaps make a long skinny one of these. I'm just mixing these colours up here, folks, just for a bit of fun. I think that's enough. So again, this is going to be a bit long for what I want, so I'm going to cut them all in half. So I could probably make 2. Fold them over. That's just about the right size. Now I'll show you a slight variation actually on this one. So we'll start at the top. So in the same way you would normally just fold over like that and cut off across here. If you cut off a little bit extra, and I like to just fold over the top like that, and here, so what we're going to do now is exactly the same. We're going to stitch or staple all the pages in, but then you've got a little fold up flap as well, and you can close that in whatever way you like. And I'll show you a really simple way in a moment. So let's attach our pages first. I've still got string on my needle there. So now these, because these are different sizes, I'm just going to make sure those smaller ones are centered, and I'm going to make sure that my holes are going through those smaller ones as well. So there we go, I'm going to tie off. I hope you guys have been enjoying this little series of things that are achievable and suitable if you're on the beginning of your junk journal journey. Let's certainly been fun making these videos. Alright, let's put my needle somewhere safe. I'm going to clear the decks a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. So that in effect is what we've done before. Made a little journal. But this time we've got a fold up flap. Now you could simply put an attractive paper clip or something there, but I'm going to show you another really simple way to close a journal like this. And I'm going to grab my hole punch and I'm going to grab the contrasting piece of scrapbook paper. Now this is not too thick, so what I might do is, excuse my arm, I have a stack of bits and pieces on my desk here. Alright, so this is just some packaging. Probably what I've made a journal cover from. So a circle from that, and a circle from this. Yep. I'm going to stick those together. Got some funky little brads here. I happen to know there is a pink one, which will go. Now I can just see a little bit of that packaging there, so I'm just going to, oh, I need smaller scissors. I'm just going to just trim that a little bit. So I didn't get it quite in the right place. And I'm going to eyeball the centre, poke a hole, pop my brad in. Now, I haven't folded that brad over because I need to get it in the right place. Now what I'm looking for here, I'll move things so that you can see, I'm aiming to get the brad just this side of the fold. So make a little mark there, open this out, before I do that, what I am going to do, I want to give that closure just a little bit of definition, so I'm going to whip my little ink pad around the edge. There we go. Brad through that hole I made. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that I like to cover the back of brads, and one of the easiest ways to do it is washi tape. I'm just going to tip these out. Of course the one I want is right at the bottom. I'll put those away in a minute. Right, a little bit of washi tape, and I'm going to make a decorative feature of it on this one. I'm going to go right to the edges. There we go. And then, actually, rather than gluing, I'm going to match that decorative feature on this side. Ooh, a bit of something stuck under there. That's it. So you could glue this flap up, but there you go, I've matched the decorative feature of the washi tape. And all you're going to do is to tuck that under there, and it keeps it closed. Again, you can decorate in any way you want to. A little bit of pages hanging out there, so I'm just going to trim those off. Ink around the edge. You could even, just to tie the whole thing together, inside and outside. I love this washi tape. I don't know whether you can see it, it's got a little bit of a sparkle. And given that this is going to be for my granddaughter's journal, I thought she might like that. There we go. So there's three, oh, more than three. You've got so many options here. So we've done the tie closures, the stapled closure. We've used book pages and music sheets. We've used scrapbook paper in both orientations, landscape and what's the other one, portrait. And then we've made a slightly different one with its own closure. Dead easy, guys. Alright, I hope you found that useful. I promised you a sneak preview, so what I'm going to do is to grab the little notepads I've made that will go in this one. And you can see they're popping up just a little bit, so I'm going to grab my bone folder, particularly that one I've just made, and just give that a nice squeeze down there. And there you go, that'll lay a lot flatter. Alright, quick sneak preview. Let's show you where we might put these in the journal. And as I say, this is not quite finished yet. I will be doing a flick through in my next video. And I'm looking for pockets. Ooh, quite a lot of them are full already. Aha, there we go. So here's a little pocket. I'm going to pop that one in there. That one's already got something in. This is a bigger pocket, and I think I've made that one to go in there. There we are, so that's a corner pocket that we talked about on the last video. Now this one, the scrapbook paper actually matches this page, so I'm going to tuck that one in there. And do we want the fourth one? Oh, I don't know, let's have a look. There we go. And the fourth one can tuck in there. So as you can see, these are great little things. People can pull them out, write in them, pop them back in, and you can attach them in many ways. They can go in pockets, in corners, in belly bands, whatever you like. Alright, so I hope that's useful, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to watch the next video when you'll see a flick through of this completed journal, hopefully in the next couple of days. But for now, ka kite anō.